Okay, bros. We are here for your weekly NXT fix, which happens to be NXT Takeover Night 1, featuring the ever so popular Bro Ratings. Now, here's your host. Okay, bros, I'm your host, Jimmy the Gibson, and we're here for NXT Takeover Night 1. That's right, we're calling it NXT Takeover Stand, because Night 2 is delivered. So, we had fantastic action tonight, as you would expect for any NXT Takeover. And since this is the last time we're going to see NXT on Wednesdays, we're recording this on Thursdays. We still wear yellow, and we love our hot dogs. Hot Dog Johnny's, Buttsville, New Jersey, an all-time classic shirt to wear to a wrestling event. So, NXT Takeover, your weekly NXT fix, starts off with a little hidden gem on a pre-show. The Peacock Network had a pre-show, and we have Zoe Stark versus Toni Storm. Pretty solid match between these two ladies. I mean, both up-and-coming talents in the women's division. Thought for sure Toni Storm was going to put her away with the Storm Zero. She did not hit it. Zoe Stark need Toni Storm in the face to counter it. Surprise roll-up, 1, 2, 3. Zoe Stark's your winner. A big surprise victory there. Personally, I would have rather see Toni Storm win it. I think she has the brighter immediate future. Long-term, I understand why Zoe Stark won. I mean, you got to build up your women's division with some major wins for a new competitor like that. All in all, pretty solid start to TakeOver, albeit it was on the pre-show. We're going to give this match a 7.7 on the Bro Ratings. Moving on, our opening contest of TakeOver was the technical masterpiece of Pete Dunne versus Kushida. Now, these two competitors were snapping fingers, hoverboard locks, stiff kicks, stiff forearms, everything that you could imagine for these two. The only downfall was just wasn't long enough, actually. I mean, give these guys 20 plus minutes and have them go absolutely bananas. But in the end, it was Pete Dunne hitting the bitter end for the 1, 2, 3. He got the victory here on TakeOver, as I predicted he would. Personally, I wanted to see Kushida win. I'm a big Kushida fan, and he's kind of fallen to the wayside. So we'll see if he gets some momentum here after TakeOver Stand. With that being said, pretty solid match here, bros. We're going to give this one an 8.4 on the Bro Ratings. Moving on, we have our Gauntlet Eliminator match for the North American Championship #1 contender spot up against Johnny Gargano on TakeOver Night 2. That's right, TakeOver Stand. And this was pretty much what you could imagine from a Gauntlet Eliminator type match. So 2 men start, they wrestle for 3 minutes, and then every 3 minutes, another competitor enters. So we started off with Leon Ruff and Isiah Swerve Scott. But Swerve was coming out, and he was attacked by Ruff. Or the other way around. I actually don't remember. But they were attacking each other before the match even started. Match started, and these two guys are fantastic against each other. We need to see more of Ruff versus Swerve. Then our third competitor to enter was Bronson Reed, followed by Cameron Grimes, Dexter Lumis, and LA Knight got the last entry. But the first competitor pinned was Leon Ruff. Cameron Grimes hit the cave-in. Swerve pinned Ruff. He's eliminated. And then, out of nowhere, Dexter Lumis gets pinned by L.A. Knight. He rolls him up, quick pin to Dexter Lumis. I mean, just a shocking elimination right there. Dexter Lumis, L.A. Knight, we're brawling a little bit. Bronson Reed hits a running senton on L.A. Knight, gets a quick 1, 2, 3. L.A. Knight eliminated. Now we're down to 3. L.A. Knight and Dexter Lumis brawled to the outside. You could see an ongoing feud developing here. Then it was Swerve and Cameron Grimes working together. Cameron Grimes even pays off Swerve to help him. But it was Cameron Grimes who got defeated next. And then it came down to Swerve and Bronson Reed as the final two. And Swerve started this match. He was absolutely fantastic. There was one spot with Swerve, Bronson Reed, and while Cameron Grimes was still in it, Bronson Reed caught Swerve in midair. Cameron Grimes super kicks Bronson Reed as he has Swerve. I mean, just crazy stuff here. But in the end, it was Bronson Reed with the tsunami splash off the top. Got the 1, 2, 3. He's your winner of the Gauntlet Eliminator. He will go on to take over, deliver to face Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. Pretty solid match all in all. We're going to give this one an 8.2 on the bro ratings. Moving on, we have the NXT UK Championship. The current champion, Walter the Ring General, against Tommaso Ciampa from NXT. And this was as hard-hitting match as you would expect from these two men. I mean, Walter had bruises all over his chest. Ciampa had bruises all over his chest. At one point in time, Walter went to chop Tommaso Ciampa, and he chopped the top board of the announce table completely in half. Just split it in half. Absolutely brutal. Ciampa hit the fairy tale ending. Walter kicked out. Ciampa hit the air raid crash. Walter kicked out. Walter just started beating on Ciampa's neck. Hit him with 2 power bombs. A German suplex on his neck. A big boot and a chop. Puts down Ciampa for the 1, 2, 3. Your winner and still NXT UK champion is Walter. And what a hard-hitting match between these two. Exactly what we want to see on TakeOver. So with that being said, bros, we're going to give this one a 9.1 on the bro ratings. Big time rating for a big time match. So, before we continue, let's check out this 1-minute figure review. Okay, TakeOver Night 1 Stand will feature this figure. We are talking about Io Shirai Elite Series 79. First time in the line. Let's see if we can get a little zoom in here. What a phenomenal face scan. Coming with this soft goods entrance jacket with the fuzzy hood, interchangeable hands. Io Shirai, a phenomenal figure for the current NXT Women's Champion in our main event tonight against Raquel Gonzalez. So let's see what happens a little later tonight, bros. But check this out. Io Shirai, it says, there have been many gravity-defying high flyers, but the Joshi Judas is the one and only genius of the sky. Now back to me. And we're back! NXT TakeOver Night 1 TakeOver Stand continues here with action for the vacant NXT Tag Team Championship. Now, 1E2E had to relinquish the titles when Tui was injured. So we have MSK versus Legado del Phantasma versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. Triple threat match, and it was absolute chaos. There was crazy spots. I mean, there was hard-hitting maneuvers, high-flying action, which is why they needed Super Tan referee as the head official to control all of the action here. Now, in the beginning of the match, Legado del Phantasma was looking fantastic, had the upper hand on both teams. But later on in the match, Legado del Phantasma was strategically taken out by each team. On one end, the Grizzled Young Veterans hit the Doomsday device on one member of Legado del Phantasma, and on the other end, MSK hit a reverse Death Valley driver, almost like a burning hammer, as the other MSK guy jumped off the top and stomped on the chest and took out the other guy from Legado del Phantasma. Then there was a classic stare down. Both teams slowly entered the ring and just started pummeling one another. Then they really re-injured the one arm of MSK. I believe it was Wesley. It's Wesley and Nash Carter. I believe it was Wesley. And Zach Gibson applied Shakely Gates, which is his submission move, on Wesley. He was about to tap, but the other guy from MSK grabbed his arm. And as he was doing that, he was put in a submission hold. He actually passed out. He wasn't the legal competitor. He passed out, and you thought Wesley was going to tap from Shakely Gates, but he did not. He got out of it, and they continued the action. Craziness here. But in the end, it was MSK hitting their blockbuster finisher for the 1-2-3. Your winners and new NXT Tag Team Champions, MSK. That's right. That's their MSK. That's their thing right there. Hey, fantastic match. Well deserved. These two young men have a bright future in the WWE and NXT, and good for them. Winning the titles already without even being in NXT for 1 year. Fantastic tag team match on TakeOver, and we're going to give that one an 8.9 on the Bro ratings. Moving on, we have your main event of the evening for the NXT Women's Championship. Your champion, Io Shirai, defends her title against Raquel Gonzalez. And this is exactly what you want from a main event of TakeOver and what you'd want for the Women's Championship match. Raquel and Io absolutely tore it down, hitting each other with all their top moves. There was a blemish kind of partway through the match where Raquel Gonzalez, forget what move she hit a move on Io. Io was down. The ref went 1, 2, counted 3, but called it a 2. Io Shirai kicked out a little late. The ref kind of miscued it. That was probably the lone blemish in this match. Afterwards, things just picked up with steam. Io Shirai threw Raquel Gonzalez onto the entrance ramp. I think hit her with a 619 through the ropes, and then dove on her, did a double stomp on the entrance ramp. Raquel Gonzalez slow to get up. Once she gets up, turns around, and Io Shirai is up top, standing on top of the entrance setup. The entrance ramp setup. And it's like a giant skull, and Io Shirai dives off of it. High crossbody onto Raquel. Lands so hard, hits her right leg and hip on the metal grate on the ground. Looked absolutely brutal. What a cool spot there. Io Shirai truly is fearless. Just as much as Walter is unbeatable. That's kind of his tangible. Io Shirai is fearless. And then they get Raquel Gonzalez back in the ring. Io Shirai hits a moonsault. 1, 2, Kick out! Raquel Gonzalez kicked out of the moonsault. And Io Shirai's like, what's it going to take to put her down? Well, they battle the outside. Raquel Gonzalez hits the one-arm powerbomb on Io on the floor. Looked brutal. They wind up back in the ring. Io somehow gets the upper hand. Hits Raquel with the palm strike, the pow move. While Raquel bounces off the rope and hits Io Shirai with such a brutal clothesline, flips her completely over, looked absolutely terrifying, picks Io Shirai up, one-arm powerbomb in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Your winner and new NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez. You know what? Hats off to these two women. Io Shirai held the title for 300 plus days. And you can't be upset with her losing to Raquel Gonzalez here. Raquel has been improved tremendously, has looked fantastic over the last 6 months especially. What a great main event. With that being said, we're going to give this one a 9.2 on the bro rating. So that means your match of the night is Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez. And we had 6 matches this evening for TakeOver, including the one on the pre-show. We're going to give this an average bro rating of 8.58. Pretty solid for night 1 TakeOver stand. Now, we got to get ready for night 2 TakeOver Deliver. And now, you already heard my predictions for night 2 TakeOver Deliver, so you probably don't need to hear them again, right? So we'll just leave it at that, I guess. Prediction time! All right, since you asked nicely, predictions for night 2 TakeOver. We are going to see Candice and Indy defeat Shotzi and Ember, becoming new women's tag team champions, just like we will see Johnny Gargano retain the North American title and defeat Bronson Reed so Johnny and Candice can hold titles at the same time. Then we're going to see the Cruiserweight Championship unification match, ladder match. Jordan Devlin, the Irish Ace, will defeat Santos Escobar. It's time someone takes him down. And then we got co-main events here. Brutal grudge match. I think this could be the match of the week. You know, forget WrestleMania, forget Raw, forget SmackDown. This is TakeOver. This could be the match of the weekend, the week. Adam Cole will defeat Kyle O'Reilly, and it's going to be brutal. And in your main event for the NXT Championship, your winner and new NXT Champion will be Karrion Kross. You heard it here first, bros. I'm your host, Jimmy the Gibson. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment below. And we will see you TakeOver Night 2 TakeOver Deliver. Later, bros.